G'day guys, welcome to I Have a Problem. Now those of you that have seen the walk around on my vehicle and the recent rundown that I did on it, the updated version of the walk around, will know that I alluded to a bit of a problem in the wheel arch with the 33s fitted, and it wasn't that bad when we first fitted the tyres, but it has slowly gotten worse to the point where I need to do something about it. So now you'll be able to see this a lot better once I get it to the workshop and take the wheels off, but we'll just give you a brief look now as to what the problem really is. So if you have a look in here, and I don't know how well this will come up on the GoPro, but you will see that a big difference between this wheel arch, and now we'll walk around to the other wheel arch, and you will notice you can't actually see any of the insides of the vehicle through here because there is a nice little carpet lined wheel arch on this side. Now again, this will show up a lot better once I get the wheels off, but that just gives you a brief idea of what's going on. So my friends at Integrity Tyres have come to the party and are going to help me out, and we're going to try and sort this problem out. So we're going to head on over to Wangara and as I said, we'll get a closer look at what's going on in here. So, how bad is this problem? Suppose I might as well just explain myself while I'm driving over to Wangara. Pretty much, you know, everybody wants a set of 33s on their four-wheel drive to get that bit of extra clearance. And so, we concentrated more on the front than we did on the back, worrying about whether they were going to clear the upper control arms and whatnot. And to our surprise, the first test fit, the 33 is fitted with a thumbnail gap between the tyre and the upper control arm. So and with a bit of a wheel alignment, sorted it all out. And that sun is a killer this morning. I cannot see a thing. There we go, that's a bit better. We managed to make them fit, but we didn't really concentrate much on the back. And when it came to having a look at the back, the tyres were slightly rubbing on the carpet inside the wheel arch, of which, you know, again, with a wheel alignment, it managed to sort it all out and give enough clearance. However, off-road, especially on coastal tracks, there was always a little bit of rubbing, and you know, most of us can handle a little bit of rubbing here and there because, let's face it, most vehicles, if you're going to put 33s, 35s, when they start to flex and move around off-road, they tend to rub on various things. So, just pull out in front of me, mate, that's fine. Yep, you take that lane, good boy. Anyway, the perils of Saturday morning driving. So, it persisted with a little bit of rubbing, and it slowly got worse to the point where, and I might have said this before, where one day I went to fill up with fuel, popped the little button down the bottom here, and the fuel cap wouldn't release, or the fuel cover for the cap wouldn't release. And I didn't put two and two together, couldn't figure out why. Found the manual release and persisted with the manual release for a while, until eventually I saw behind the carpet that there was a wiring harness that had been completely severed by the tyre rubbing on the wheel arch, because by that point it had actually gone through the carpet and I could see the wires exposed. So I had to get that rerouted around the inside of the wheel arch. No big deal. The guys at Craft rewired it for me. Flap now works. Happy days. I can put fuel back in the car without having to reach into the manual release. And it still slowly got worse to the point where one day when we were up filming at White Gum Farm at the 4-wheel drive park up there, I got stuck on an exit point of one of the challenges up there, and it completely ripped that carpet, that protection piece of carpet, out of the wheel arch itself, to the point where it was sitting on the track and now sits on one of Gary's rubbish piles up at White Gum Farm. So, and before that I was forever, once again, cable tying it back up so that it wouldn't rub on the tyre during normal transit, and every time I went off-road, cable ties would snap. The inner guard would come back down again and rub on the tyres. So having it actually come off was a godsend, because then I no longer had to worry about cable tying it back up again. However, the problem still was there, and I still persisted with it until one day it was on the hoist at Craft. Wheels were off. Can't remember what I was getting done or fixed. And there was some pretty extensive rubbing on the filler pipe and various other breather pipes, cables, parts of the guard underneath. And Tony basically said to me, "That's not good," of which I agreed wasn't good. So kind of threw a few ideas out there as to what we could do, but basically it's a tyre and wheel problem. So I dropped in to see Brad and Brendan at Integrity to see what their thoughts were, and they have come up with a plan that will hopefully stop the rubbing. So I am on my way there now, as I said earlier, and we will have a look at what they've got put aside for me. And I would just like to point out that I'm not being paid to do this video. I just decided to do this video as a follow-up to the problem that I have, and just to show you guys how good Integrity Tyres really are. They do look after us in the channel. They are a channel supporter. I am paying, however, they are doing me a very good deal because they are a channel partner. So I will head over there now. We'll rip these wheels off, and I will show you just how bad the problem is. Alright, well here we are at Integrity Tyres, and this is Brendan. He's going to fix my problem. So you want to tell us what we're going to do today?
So Paul came to us a few months ago with an issue on his car, rubbing on the inner guards. Offered him a couple of solutions. First solution was go down to tyre size. Second solution was change offset on the wheels. Didn't want to change tyre size because the tyre works well for his car and his applications. So we went with option B. And
apart from the fact that they're bloody hard to get at the moment.
Yeah, apart from the fact that, yeah, none of them around. The option B was a better option for him, so we got a different offset wheel to go onto the car. So we'll change them all over for him and leave without the issue.
Alright, cool. Alright, let's get this started, eh?
Yep.
Cool. Alright, well as I mentioned earlier, the damage in the wheel arch, which I'm now going to show you. If I can get the GoPro to turn on, there we go. It might be a bit dark in here, so I need to use the light. So, just so you can see, that's the damage so far. On this side it's not so bad, the actual inner lining is still there, but you can see some rubbing here, and it just up there. The back of it's not too bad. But if we go around to the other side, this is where the fun begins, and it's a very, very different story. The whole inner lining is actually ripped out of the vehicle, and you can see some rubbing up here. That is the fuel feeder pipe, and there's a few other hoses there that haven't been hit yet, but that's my fear. Up in there is not too bad, but you can definitely see rubbing there, and the whole inner guard protector has now gone. So that is what we're here to fix, and then eventually hopefully I can get myself a new inner guard, and because that actually up there, all the dirt ends up in the fuel cap filler in there. So when you open up your fuel cap, it actually ends up full of mud and dirt. So anyway, we'll get on with this. So here we go, we're about to unbox the first wheel, and Brendan's going to have the honours. There we go, check that out. That should look sexy, eh? Alright, so just to explain, what's the offset on the standard Jeep wheel?
The offset on these ones, I think it's 56.4.
What is it?
56.4 millimetres.
56.4 millimetres. And what are these?
These are going to a POS 30.
POS 30.
So effectively we've moved the wheel out by about 26 millimetres.
Okay, alright.
Yeah.
Well that should solve the problem. It might create another problem, but we'll deal with that later. Alright, let's carry on.
I've counted every word you said to me. I wanna leave it at the door, but I don't wanna feel anymore. I should have said something before, but I don't wanna feel anymore. I wanna be alive. I wanna be alive. Here in the moment, here in the sun. There's only light. I
Alright guys, well there we go. All done, and hopefully that solves my problems. Now, I will apologise in advance, those people that do tell the difference between mine and Brad's car from a distance by the colour of our wheels. I'm really sorry. But you must admit, they look pretty cool, don't they? And yeah, they stick out a little bit, but not too bad. But yeah, I think they look really cool. Anyway, a big thank you to the guys at Integrity for helping me out. As I said, this hasn't been for free. I do have to pay for these wheels, however they are looking after me in a really big way. Set aside their workshop on a Saturday morning for me to be able to get this done, and Brendan's time secluded in the corner away from everybody else so that we could get the work done uninterrupted. So a big thank you to Brad and Michelle from Integrity Tyres for helping me out, and a big thank you to Brendan for getting the job done this morning as well. And hopefully that solves my problem, and we will just have to see. Next time I go off-road, I'll be too scared to scratch them, but yeah, they do look really nice. Anyway, for those of you that have stuck around this long, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for supporting the channel. I hope you've enjoyed this video, and if you want a good place to come and sort out some wheels, tyres, wheel alignment, balancing, whatever you need done tyre-wise, come and see these guys in Wangara. They will look after you. Tell them I sent you, and they'll definitely look after you. Alright, thanks guys for watching. I'll see you on our next adventure. Cheers.